opportunity to talk on WHO labor care guide. So this topic actually is a nurse midwifery issue. I really don't know how many practicing obstetricians will be really interested in this. WHO labor care guide is nothing but WHO labor care guide. You know that 1/3 of maternal deaths, half of stillbirths, 1/4 of neonatal deaths result from complications during labor. And they are occurring in low resource settings and are largely preventable through timely interventions. Kerala and Maharashtra have proven that improving the quality of care around the time of birth has been identified as the most impactful strategy for reducing stillbirths, maternal deaths, and newborn deaths. However, what we see in Nagpur, we had unacceptable, highly unacceptable LSCS rate. Rural as well as urban, government as well as private, the LSCS rate is too high. Even in GMCs, we see many patients who are referred to us with a poor labor care. So, I think there is a definite need to introspect our labor care practices. So, I present you this WHO labor care guide. So this is the chart that I am going to talk about. There are 7 sections placed vertically, timelines placed horizontally, no alignment, no action line. It is simplified, still not so easy to practice. Why? Because it's a paper. Obstetricians के दो सबसे बड़े दुश्मन हैं, एक है postpartum hemorrhage, एक है paperwork. But let me tell you, if you start delivering patients with this LCG, if you train your staff in using this graph, the future ahead is great. There is a e-partogram ahead and a sensors for PV examinations behind the gloves, under the gloves. The project is going on very close to our city. That is at NGIS Sevagram. Dr. Poonam Shivkumar ma'am is working with the international team on this project, and they are actually using it in Sevagram. So with these advances and electronic fetal-maternal monitoring and accessibility through internet on your phone, the future days are really bright. How this labor care guide is different from the old partogram? Most importantly, it includes respectful maternity care as a core component, which was missing in the old one. Globally, evidences support that dilation rate of 1 cm per hour is not a good screening tool to predict adverse labor outcome. Old times we used to consider 3 cm dilation as active stage of labor. Now it is replaced by 5 cm. Duration of second stage of labor in primary is now 3 hours and in multi now it is 2 hours. Descent is to be monitored by abdominal method. So this is the aim this WHO LCG was devised. We have to train all health personnel, right from your nurse midwife to your RMO to yourself. The basic aim is to monitor and document the well-being of women and baby and progress of labor, to ensure a positive childbirth experience for women, promptly identify and address emerging labor complications, trigger specific action if an abnormal observation is identified, prevent unnecessary use of interventions in labor, support audit and quality improvement in labor management. For whom should the LCG be used? All women in labor, high-risk women may require additional monitoring and care. When should the LCG be initiated? When women have entered the active phase of first stage of labor, that is cervical dilatation 5 cm or more. Where should the LCG be used? It should be designed to use at all levels of healthcare, right from sub-centers, PSC to medical colleges. Now, as I told you, there is a horizontal time axis, just same as that of old partogram. Vertically on left side, you have 7 sections of labor care, identifying information and labor characteristics, supportive care, care of the baby, care of the woman, labor progress, medications, and shared decision making. And each section has a reference values mentioned for the determination of any deviation just by the side. How to use? Assess, record, check, reference, threshold, plan. It sounds difficult, but it's not. I will explain it giving one example with each section. There are certain nomenclatures and abbreviations in this chart. For ruptured membranes, if it is unknown, we mention U. For companionship, pain, oral fluid posture, there are either yes, no, or movement declines. For posture, If the patient is in supine position, you mention SP, and if she is mobile, you mention MO. For FHS declaration, no early date variable. For amniotic fluid, I for intact membrane, C for membrane structure clear fluid, M for meconium stain lighter, and depending on the severity, we mention 1 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus. For blood stain lighter, we mention B. For fetal position, A for occipital anterior, P for occipital posterior, T for occipital transfer. Caput and molding to be graded as we routinely grade. For women section, we had urine and acetone, so we know how to mention it. P for P minus for no proteinuria, S for and like that. In section 6, that is medication section, we have oxytocin, medications and IV fluids. Again, we have to mention yes or no, and if it is yes, we have to mention the drop rates. So how to complete section 1, that is about information and labor characteristic. Ask the woman her full name, verify from the medical records, mention parity, ask if labor onset was spontaneous or induced, and record accordingly. Mention date and time of 5 cm dilatation and rupture of membranes. Mention unknown if it is not known. Record risk factors like hypertension, diabetes, anemia, whatever it is. So this is the chart we are looking. How to record time on the NCG? This is an example of one patient, third gravida para2 L1 XYZ. The previous taper came to labor ward at 6 a.m. in active stage of labor with leaking since 5 a.m. and on admission her hemoglobin was 9 gram per cell. So this was recorded. Now how to record time on the LCD? So the first row of the time axis is to register the actual time for each observation. The second row identifies the number of hours that have elapsed during the course of labor. The time row is divided into columns for recording the actual time in hours and minutes, and each column represents 1 clock hour. How to complete section 2, that is supportive care. Supportive care section of the NCG aims to encourage the consistent practice of respectful maternity care. This includes labor companion, pharmacological and non-pharmacological pain relief, ensuring woman receives oral fluids, and techniques to improve the woman's comfort, such as allowing her to be mobile, and this should be recorded every hour. This is the chart we have to fill. So this is the same patient. She was attended by nurse on duty in labor room. She was not accompanied by birth companion who came after 1 hour. She was her sister. She was having tolerable pain on admission, but after 1 hour, she complained of excessive pain for which oil pack massage was given. She has been drinking water whenever she feels thirsty. She was mobile in between and is now lying in bed in supine position. So this is all plotted by your staff. Now how to complete section 3, that is the baby care. This section, care of the baby, is to facilitate decision making while monitoring the well-being of the baby. Well-being of the baby is monitored by baseline fetal heart, deceleration in fetal heart rate, amniotic fluid, fetal position, development of caput subsidiary, and molding of the fetal head. The last 3 I have covered in the next slide. About baseline FHR, we have to start whistling during a uterine contraction and continue for at least 30 seconds after the contraction. The total duration should be 1 minute. We have to assess the woman's pulse simultaneously. Continue to assess every 30 minutes in first stage and every 5 minutes during the second stage. And the alert should be sounded if the fetal heart is less than 110 or more than 160. The plan, we have to, it depends on the local protocols. We may have to call the senior consultant, or we can just reassess after an hour. About fetal position, especially I need to address this per vaginal examination. When you assess, you must be gentle. Verbal consent has to be taken, privacy should be ensured. It should never be done during a contraction, and full information is to be obtained every time. This is the chart which we have to fill. The same patient, baby shows fetal heart rate of 140 beats per minute without deceleration. Vaginal examination shows 5 cm dilatation, cephalic presentation, no caput molding, fetal position in the occipital posterior, and amniotic fluid is clear. So as everything looks normal, the nurse decides to check fetal heart every half hourly, and she had completed this chart. Now how to complete section 4, that is the care of the woman. The section on care of the woman is to facilitate decision making by consistent monitoring of pulse, blood pressure, systolic as well as diastolic, temperature and urine. And here the 1:1 ratio of patient nurse is important. This is the chart which we need to fill. So same patient, now the patient's pulse rate was 88 beats per minute and the BP was 120/80 mg of mercury on admission with normal temperature and urine protein acetone was nil. Four-early recording of this maternal condition is there in this chart. Now how to complete section 5? This is a very important section. This section was given too much importance in the old partogram, but here it is more systematic. Labor progress is recorded by regular observation of frequency and duration of contraction, cervical dilatation and descent of the fetal head. If contraction is less than 2 or more than 5 per 10 minutes, if duration of contraction is less than 20 seconds or more than 60 seconds, alert should be made and action should be planned. Alert values of first stage of labor alert values of first stage, I don't think any of us are going to follow, but they are based on sound scientific evidences. So alert should be sounded if cervical dilatation remains at 5 cm for 6 or more hours, cervical dilatation remains at 6 cm for 5 hours, 5 or more hours, cervical dilatation remains at 7 cm for 3 or more hours, and if cervical dilatation remains at 9 cm for 2 or more hours. Alert values of second stage, I already told you, it is 3 hours for primary and 2 hours for multigravida. The descent is to be assessed by abdominal palpation, rule of 5, 5/5, 4/5, 3/5, 2/5, 1/5, and 0/5. So this is the chart which we need to fill. The same patient at the time of admission, patient had 3 uterine contractions every 10 minutes, each lasting 40 seconds. Dilatation was 5 cm with descent 4/5 at 10 am. Cervical dilatation was 8 cm, fetal position occipital transverse, fetal descent 3/5, amniotic fluid shows meconium 1+. At 1 pm, patient had 3 uterine contractions in 10 minutes, lasting 50 seconds, fetal descent was 2/5, cervical dilatation 10 cm, fetal position OA, amniotic fluid shows meconium 1+. For fetal heart rate was 132 beats per minute without deceleration. At 1:30 pm, fetal descent was 0/5, FHR by 180 beats per minute with early deceleration, and the childbirth takes place vaginally at 1:45 pm. How to complete section 6 is on medication. This section aims to facilitate consistent recording of all types of medications used in labor. Routine oxytocin use, routine smooth muscle relaxant, routine IV fluids should be avoided and they should be used only if indicated. This is the chart. This patient did not receive any oxytocin, routine buscopan like drugs, and she did not receive any IV fluids, so it was charted like this. Now how to complete section 7? It was on shared decision making. We have to assess any other finding that is not previously covered in this. We have to plan depending on the patient's condition, continuation of routine monitoring, description of diagnostic tests, augmentation of labor with oxytocin, procedures such as ARM, assisted birth with vacuum or forceps, cesarean section. Take into consideration that women should be involved in discussions and be allowed to make informed decisions each time a clinical assessment of the woman's the baby's well-being is completed. Record the plan based on the shared decision. So this is the chart. And it was patient progressed well, baby and mother parameters were normal, no additional interventions were required. So this chart was filled. So here we delivered a patient with WHO LCG, third cavita parenthood type 1 via nurse on duty after being in 7.5 hours in active labor. I know what you must be thinking, I am thinking the same. Thank you very much.